This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Alrighty. What's up, dude? How you doing? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. How you doing? Long time no talk.
Yes, sir. Long time. How was birthday week?
Great. Fabulous time.
Great.
Always an enjoyable time at Universal.
Did you get a tie?
Did I get a tie?
Yeah, like a really boring present, like a tie? Or did
No.
they actually give you a good present?
Their presents was my present, if that makes any sense.
Okay. Their present was your present to them on a vacation. I got you.
Exactly.
Okay. All right. Well, that's see, that's what a selfless father is supposed to do. It's really not about us. You know what I'm saying?
Nope.
So you are correct. You're a good dad. Nice job by you, sir.
And I'd rather have that than a tie, to be very honest with you.
Yeah, no, that's true. Actually, it's way more satisfying actually than a tie.
I'm not a tie wearing guy. I'm not a tie wearing guy anyway. So
yeah, no, and that was cool. I met your family and your kids, so I'm sure you guys had some fun. So yesterday, the coach addresses the media in the owners' meetings, and I got to tell you something. I basically got sexually aroused yesterday. He says we didn't run the ball because running backs didn't run the ball well. We didn't run the ball well in games that we were overly injured, or some games I just didn't call enough runs. I got to tell you something. That right there, that got me sexually aroused. I loved it because that was a man that was able to take self-inventory of what went on, and he's going to be critical of himself and going to be and by the way, I talked about this before you came on. The fact that you bring in a Fangio, the fact that you bring in a Darren Bevel, the fact that you're willing to bring in coaches that have more experience than you, have been there and back more than you have, can actually teach you, that you're willing to learn from people like that. It was the opposite thing for Flo. Flo kind of wanted, yes men around him pretty much. So this tells me that this is a guy that is not, ego driven completely, that he is willing to learn. And that quote to me was a money quote yesterday. Your thoughts on that?
Well, I'm going to start by defending Flo because you keep taking shots at him, and I'm going to try to be fair. He brought in Changeli, who's certainly not a young guy.
Actually, he did.
And no, I like this quote too, and kind of sounds like somebody who wears an Expos hat and covers the Dolphins has said for a while, that the issue wasn't so much about the quality of the running backs.
We both said that.
As to the fact that they just didn't stick with it. And Mike McDaniel, we know, is a very sharp guy. Let's not kid ourselves. He has an ego, because you can't be an NFL coach if you don't have an ego. But it's not out of control. He is humble enough to understand there's certain things I can do better, and one of those is not defer to the passing. And let's be honest, it's very tempting to defer to the passing game when you got those two freak speedsters outside. Yeah. I mean, it's very tempting. I mean, I saw a clip that was played, and it's Mike McDaniel talking to somebody else in his headset, basically saying, "How about we throw in every single down on this drive?" And so you get the fascination, but at some point, yeah. And I did. By the way, yesterday.
Years ago, we had the opposite. Years ago, Dave Wanstead used to scream into the mic, "All right, fellas, we've crossed the 35-yard line. We're in field goal range. Let's be careful now." And Norv Turner and everybody else listen is like, "Oh, Jesus Christ, this guy's thinking already about field goals, and we haven't even, And so we used to have the other extreme, by the way. So,
no, that's true.
And by the way, that is a true story for those of you out there. That Dave Wanstead, when you cross a certain part of the field, all right, guys, we've crossed. We're in field goal range. Let's make sure we take care of the ball. So that was like automatic with Dave Wanstead.
And also in his defense, since I'm like just the great defender here. In his defense, he was playing in a different era, where it wasn't lights out the way it is now, and his shtick was. Oh, that's the Wanstead impersonation.
Putting his fingers through his hair. That's all it was.
His shtick was, or his thing was, we're going to win with defense and the running game. And at a time, he had Ricky Williams and his quarterback was Jay Fiedler, who was kind of, let's say, serviceable at best, and he had a really good defense. So he was playing to his strengths.
Wait a minute, you forgot his slogan. You forgot his slogan. It's not a crime to punt.
It's not a crime to punt. Agree. Okay, one last thing on the McDaniel comment. I wrote a story on alldolphins.com yesterday where I pointed out that if you're looking, like, the Dolphins were 25th in rushing in the NFL last year. Yeah, but they were also next to last in rushing attempts. And if you look at yards per carry, Jeff Wilson combined with the San Francisco and Miami days was 4.9. Raheem Mostert was 4.9. And those two, that was tied for 7th among NFL running backs last year.
Why did you just throw in Ahmed?
Ahmed didn't have that many carries. That's why I didn't throw him in there.
My point is, he royally kicked ass every time he played, is my point.
Correct. But he had like 30 carries. So in very, very limited duty, he also was very impressive. So the issue, and I understand,
the entire running game was limited, just like, poor Ahmed. That's my point, is like, this is why I say stats. Jimmy had a great line. Since we're all quoting and going after all our ex-coaches here, stats are for losers, because as you know, because you're a pro, you can grab stats and spin them both ways if you want. If you want to make a negative article, you can grab the stats that make the negative article, and then I can grab the stats and make the positive article, which is what you just did, right? Oh, well, they were one of the worst. Well, dude, they were one of the worst because they didn't run the ball enough. When they didn't average 2 yards a carry, they averaged 4.5 yards a carry. What they had to do was run the ball more. Did you watch the games? Because that's always my problem with people. Do you watch the games? Because if you watch the games, there were several moments where Mike McDaniel abandoned the running game, and you're like, yo, bro, come on, what are you doing? And that's why that quote yesterday for me was the money quote of all, because that tells me again that this is the right dude, that he's willing to learn and grow from all these kind of things, because none of us are perfect. We're all going to make a crap ton of mistakes in whatever we do. But bro, if we don't learn from our mistakes, then, we're dead. We're done.
That's how you grow as a coach. No, the one that always sticks out in my mind was at Buffalo, the Saturday night game. It was in the first quarter. They had like a 3rd and 1 from maybe the Buffalo 14-yard line, and they went to throw.
7 yards a carry they were averaging in that game.
Yep.
Okay.
And they tried to throw on 3rd and 1. They wound up, I don't remember if it was an incomplete pass or a sack or whatever, and they had to settle for a field goal. And I'm like going crazy saying, why are you not running the ball?
Right. We were all doing that. I think every Dolphin fan pretty much, because, Dolphin fans are like, we've watched the good years have been, it's Jay Ajayi, it's Ricky Williams, it's Smith, out of the few good years you've had, Ronnie Brown and the Wildcat, the only few good years you've had, they're all tied to a running back. They're all tied to a running game. And so now you've got a great passing game. Oh, my God. Can you imagine if you actually had a real running game to a great passing game? And if you had a pass-catching tight end? Wow, holy shit, you might have what they have in San Francisco.
If you match their defense, because their defense is completely sick.
No, I'm just talking about the balance of their offense.
I understand that. And again, to me, what makes their offense special is the speed outside. And because of that, it always should tilt more towards the passing game, but it should not be as skewed as it was last year.
Right. I got no problem with that, dude. I have zero issues with that. The greatest show on turf skewed to the passing game, but you had to feature Marshall Faulk, dude, because it's Marshall Faulk.
Exactly.
Yeah. Shit, man.
Yeah.
So, all right. The DeShon Elliott thing. Is it just for me? Look, it's just, I know it's just, it was a knuckleheaded move on his part, all of that stuff. The one thing that I did say this morning is what the one thing that now the coaching staff, the front office, his teammates, fans, media, now you're on double secret probation because, okay, dude, you had zero awareness of what's gone on here the last couple of years. And here you are with the kerosene, just igniting a fire again. And it's just no need for it. So the only question I have now for DeShon Elliott from here on out is this an aberration or are you a knucklehead? That's the only thing I need to find out now, because then you'll find out he won't be here very long if he's into doing stupid things, saying stupid things. Although from what I've looked back, that's not really his track record. So I'm hoping that this is just an aberration where he had a total brain fart and didn't realize what he was really doing at that moment. I don't know.
No, I don't even think it's that. I think he never thought for half a second about Tua. It was just a reflex. I played with Lamar for 3 years in Baltimore. Right, I love the guy come to the Dolphins, again, without thinking, oh, they already have a quarterback. They picked up the 50-year option. They keep saying he's a starter. Maybe I shouldn't go there. It just didn't dawn on him. And then all of a sudden, once he saw the backlash, it was like, oh, yeah. And then he deleted the tweet. I don't think there was any malice involved. I don't think it was a shot. I don't think he was saying.
No, I don't think so either. I agree with that part.
I don't think he was saying I want Lamar over Tua. I think it was just Lamar's my guy, and didn't think
blinded at that moment by his friendship. Right. Yeah.
Correct.
Right.
No, and I've seen some fans like saying, "Oh, they need to cut him immediately." Like, dude, simmer down. They're
not going to cut him for that, but you got to have a conversation with them. Like, yo, dude, come on, let's go, wake up. I would hope his agent had that conversation with him. Like, do you know where you're at? Have you seen the hell that they've gone through with all this crap? What are you doing? Like, you can't do that, DeShon,
Well, it's also entirely possible that it was either the agent or somebody from the team who got to him quickly and told him, take down that tweet.
Right.
Right. And then the part I didn't like, but then he tried to like double downplay it off, saying, I was just kidding and all that. It's not fair.
That part. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah. I think I might have left it alone there after that.
Right, exactly. That's what I said. Yeah, like what you need to do is just apologize. Say, hey, I did something stupid. I was just looking out for a friend of mine. I was caught in the moment. I meant no disrespect to Tua, this, that. If I'm him, I go over to Nick Hicks where he's working out and just film a video with Tua and show some love and say, hey, man, I love this guy. He's my quarterback. I was just looking out for a friend. I didn't mean any disrespect to my guy Tua, and that's it, or something.
I agree.
Now here's the thing with DeShon Elliott. Now, you, the entire media base, myself, fans, okay. Now he will be under a microscope, and so if he doesn't play well, people are going to bring it up a little bit more than they normally would have now, because you've kind of put yourself in that microscope now. Unfortunately, this is the picture he's painted, unfortunately.
No, see, for me, my microscope's going to be on his Twitter account. I'm not going to judge him more harshly now he's got to be perfect because he did that. No, but I'm going to watch what he tweets to make sure that it was like a one-time, faux pas, as my French.
I look back at his history. There really isn't anything like this. This is not really him. Normally. Okay, so at least from what I look back on the history, there really isn't a track record of him saying a whole bunch of knuckleheaded stuff or things like that. That's why I told you that I think it's a one-off, that I think he was just trying to, support his friend, and then he got caught in the moment and didn't realize, I'm on another team with another quarterback. Like, what the hell am I, So I think it was just a brain fart moment. He did something really, really stupid. And we all do it, by the way. We're all guilty of doing stupid things every once in a while that we don't realize it. I just ate a hot dog on a DQ on the road and was throwing up for 5 days.
That's stupid. That's stupid.
That's incredibly stupid. But I'm aware that I was stupid, and it was a ridiculous move on my part. But what are you going to do?
No, but this is a thing where he spent 3 years with Lamar Jackson. He's been with the Dolphins for a week and a half. So.
Right.
I'm willing to cut him some slack that it was a brain fart, but again, let's not have anything like that happen again. That's not his pattern.
Now.
From what I talked to people in Detroit, he's a very good locker room guy, great teammate. Yeah. So I have no.
Yeah. Well, I look back, I googled all his stuff to see, and it's not part of his track record. So let's hope that it's it's something. But now again, he's on double secret probation. By a lot of people now. That's just the way he's going to have to live before he kind of gets through all of this. All right, the other thing, which had nothing to do with DeShon, but I guess he had to kind of reiterate the whole thing on the 5th-year option with Tua. And I don't know why everybody needs so many what's it called, assurances that they, and I get that we live the Nick Saban, I'm not going to be the Alabama coach thing, but it's a shame that we treat these guys all like liars.
Again, but part of it is it's kind of the position they're in, and sometimes they say things that they have to say publicly, even though in the background they're doing stuff to maybe counter that move. My only thing with the 5th-year option is there's zero advantage other than publicity and appearances to doing it now, because I hate to be that guy, but if something disastrous happens, car accident or something like that, I understand that. Again, what did you have to gain by doing it now? The deadline's not until May 2nd.
Oh yeah, no, there was a lot.
And they had already.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. The whole thing has been about doubt. The whole thing has been about questions. The whole thing has been about negative narratives. Brother, they're trying to crush it. They've been trying to crush it from the get-go. And yet the media won't let it go. Some fans won't let it go. No, the guys in the front office have been committed to the kid from the get-go.
Correct.
Okay? You and I have had this argument a whole bunch of times. The Watson stuff came from the coach. The Brady stuff
and the
came
owner.
from the owners. It did not come from Reggie McKenzie or Marvin Allen or Chris Greer. And McDaniel has been committed to this kid since he got here. They've been trying to tell you that they want Tua. So to end the whole damn offseason without, because if you don't give him the 5th-year option and it's lingering out there, we've got Josina Anderson every week having him traded to every other team and that they're moving for Lamar Jackson when it's inaccurate. So the idea was, hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, here's Tua. He's our quarterback. We're committed. Enough with the bullshit already. Yet the bullshit.
Then why don't you just say that instead of actually applying the 5th-year option? Which, by the way,
because then you're right that you're not committed if you don't give him the option, bro. That's what you'll counter with.
Let me make my point. Okay, you can go ahead. You can have the same argument saying publicly, we're not going to officially do it, but stop asking us. We are going to give Tua the 5th-year option. We do. Can I finish, please? Without officially doing it, we are going to give him the 5th-year option, because here's the flip side. Hate to break it to you, but if the Dolphins were planning on trading Tua, having him sign that 5th-year option actually makes him more tradable, because when acquiring team would have him under control for the next 2 years. So if you're trying to squash, completely eliminate the trade idea, it's not picking up the 5th-year option that does it. Okay, it's them saying over and over again, we are not trading Tua. This is our guy. That can be done verbally without officially doing the 5th-year option a month and a half before they have to do it.
It cannot be done because the media will continue to write, well, you see, they say they're going to give it because, again, I just told you this a couple minutes ago. We treat them all like liars, and that's all you're going to do. Well, they say they're going to give it to them, but if somebody comes up with a deal that they like, they're going to go and move for him and move Tua away. That's what would happen. They were trying to end it all by saying, this is our guy. It's over. Stop reporting. Stop saying this. And all these reports have been wrong every single time because it just doesn't end up happening. You know what I mean? I mean, come on.
They go, do you not understand that actually it makes him, the fact that he does have the 5th-year option makes him more attractive for another team to trade for? Do you not understand that? You know what I'm hearing?
You know what I'm hearing?
What are you hearing?
There you go. That's what I'm hearing. The same bullshit. One way or the other, media's going to spin it like they're trying. And they have not talked about trading him. See, you're already going to an extreme that they're not going.
I am not. I am just
about that by signing him now there's a deceiving way of, oh, well, now he's more attractive to trade. No, dude. They signed him because they're committed to him. They want him to be their quarterback. They're not trying to trade him, Alan.
And my point, You're not getting my point.
Right,
You're not getting my point. You're not getting my point. I am not saying they're looking to trade him. I am saying the fact that they have exercised the 5th-year option officially does not change the fact that it's a possibility if somebody wants to throw it out there. I'm not saying that they will.
But again, you're not understanding my point. You just called him a liar again.
Didn't call him a liar.
Yes, you did. Because that's not an option. That's not an option, Alan.
I'm not saying they're doing it. You're saying
option, my friend.
I am just saying
Bailoa is the quarterback. End of story. They're not trading him. They're not signing him to a 5th-year option to trade him, Alan. That's the problem. You just keep helping, and you're fueling my argument, my man.
No, you're being, I'm sorry, but you're being dense and not understanding my argument. I am not telling you that they're going to trade him. I don't believe they're going to trade him for a second. That's not going to stop the speculation. I'll give you evidence of this.
But there's no speculation.
I can't make a point with you, dude. Dude, I can't make a point with you.
No, you are.
Go ahead. Dude, again, I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to stay calm, but you're not letting me make my point. I am not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that just exercising the 5th-year option does not shut down all of the talk that could be outside, more so than their words. Either you're going to believe their words, or I happen to believe their words. Tua was their quarterback in 2023. Okay. I'm not the only media member out there, and if you think that just by exercising the 5th-year option, it's going to completely shut down any of that talk, I think you're wrong. I'll give you an example. The betting odds on Lamar Jackson's new team came out Monday, I believe it was. And guess what? The Dolphins were 4th. This is days after they exercised the 5th-year option. So some odds makers, which you can dismiss all you want, but generally they have, let's say, a modicum base of knowledge, are still having it out there. And I am telling you, no, I don't believe it. It doesn't make sense to trade for Lamar Jackson. I've told you this before.
Alan, you're not a gambler, right?
No, but I look at odds. I'm not a gambler.
No, but do you understand how odds are made?
I do understand how odds are made.
Okay, and odds are made, my friend, by
public perception.
By exactly. So Vegas knows there's a lot of stupid people that are still believing the Dolphin stuff, so they can steal their money. That's the only reason that odd is there, my friends. They know that there's a lot of stupid people that are still buying it, and that's why. We have stupid people that, they do vote in Marjorie Taylor Greene. We have stupid people. There's a lot of stupid people.
We're in agreement there.
And so in Las Vegas, they know there's a lot of stupid people. So it has nothing to do with them actually even thinking that Miami's an option. It's just they know there's a lot of stupid people that think Miami is an option, so they will steal their money. That's all it is, bro. They're playing both sides. It has nothing to do with actual information that they're trading him or they're making a move for another quarterback or any of that. And that's, to me, my entire point. That no matter what anybody does, they're going to try to make them look like liars, when all they've ever done from the get-go here in this offseason is tell you that they're committed to the guy, and then all we have are people in the media with misinformation.
My point was that exercising the 5th-year option does not do anything in terms of cementing to a spot as a starter, more so than Chris Greer and Mike McDaniel telling you over and over again, Tua is our guy.
I disagree. I think giving him the 5th-year option is a commitment already into next year. So I think it makes it even harder to make that trade at that point now. Because once you've made that commitment, what is there to do? Can you imagine trading him now? Like, you will never be believed in anything you ever say again. At all. It's
because of what they said, not because they exercised the 5th-year option. Again, a month and a half before they actually had to do it.
And that's supposed to be like a positive sign. And then people are going to spin it into what you're saying now. Well, no, they can still question it. But this is kind of like showing you we're committed to the guy. And there's nothing they can say that they can ever be believed. It's amazing.
But here's the other thing too. Okay, at the combine last year, Chris, are you going to what are your thoughts on the 5th-year option with Christian Wilkins? Are you going to do it? Yeah, we'll probably. We're going to evaluate things, but we'll probably pick it up. This year, Chris at the combine, and then they picked up his 5th-year option. I believe it was April 28th or April 29th. Okay. This year, Chris, are you picking up the 5th-year? Well, there are a lot of things we got to evaluate and all that. Never anything as strong as they did with Christian Wilkins. And then they pick up the 5th-year option on March 20th or 21st, whatever it was. My whole point was there was no need to actually do it beyond their words. If they do wind up trading Tua, which again, I don't believe is going to happen. So anybody out there, no, Tua is going to be the starter in 2023. I don't believe they're going to trade him, nor should they trade him for Lamar Jackson. Again, they're going to be, you're talking about they will be made liars, but because they exercise the 5th-year option. No, they're going to be made liars because they have said all along that Tua is our guy.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't think the 5th-year option adds anything to the commitment that they had already shown. Doing it this early, I get it. And we went back and forth on the 5th-year option. I get it doing it April 28th, April 29th. This was like the 8th 5th-year option the Dolphins have picked up since it got into the CBA in 2011. It's a month earlier than any other one. Now, and I understand the other players.
Quarterback.
Correct.
Yeah.
He's a quarterback, and he's a guy who looks like obviously the best quarterback during that time because the other one was Ryan Tannehill. But still.
All right, so what's next? What's happening? Because everything's gone cold. What are we waiting for here? What's who's holding out? What's the
that's
next
an interesting
target
question.
of free agency?
Well, the two big things that stick out like a sore thumb right now are right tackle and tight end.
Are you convinced more than ever that it's the draft that's going to solve that?
Well, that's the thing. I'm thinking, especially more so for a tight end. I think, and it's a ridiculously loaded year for tight ends. They can get a really good player in the second round who could come in and be the best tight end on their roster. Because right now they have Eric Sobert, Durham Smythe, and Tanner Connor, who are, let's say, serviceable.
Hey, by the way, I saw some dude put together a little video of Solbert blocking. He does a pretty good job blocking, bro.
Yeah, he's like he's Durham Smythe like. That's right, what kind of tight end you're getting.
Yeah. But I did not know that he was. He's actually a solid blocker. So that's a good thing, man.
Yeah, and I'm still thinking free agency for a right tackle, whether it be Brandon Shell, George Fan, Billy Turner, who I would love because I like him as a guy. He's a very interesting dude.
By the way, I get a note here from the great Sean Stanley. In 2016, first-round pick Laramie Tunsil was traded to the Houston Texans in a mega deal in September of 2019, 4 months after the Dolphins had exercised their 5th-year option for 2020.
Was he trying to say Tua is going to get traded in September? Is that what he's trying to say?
No. Well, yeah, he could if they keep. Hey, we'll give you a first. Hey, we'll give you two first. Hey, we'll give you 2 firsts and a second. Yeah. Hey, we'll give you 2 firsts, a second, and we'll take a player, a $9 million player off your roster. At that point,
I had no problem with it.
They weren't ever trading Laramie Tunsil. Correct. But at that point, anybody is up for sale, bro. Mm-hmm. It's just it gets to a point where you can't tell Bill O'Brien. You can't tell Bill O'Brien no anymore once he tells you, no, I'll take Stills off your roster also. So you're giving me 2 1s, a 2, and you're going to take Stills. Yeah, let's do it, bro. We love Laramie, but not that much. Didn't Laramie tell Chris Greer I would have traded me too? Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. I love that trade. Everything they did in the rebuild in terms of the trades was good, except I didn't like the Minkah Fitzpatrick trade, but that was a different story.
Well, but that was out of his control too. When the coach and the player can't get along.
No, correct.
But dude, to answer back with Javon Holland, that's some shit, bro. Like that's some shit. Like that's legendary stuff. Like front offices don't do that normally. That you just don't find one of the 5 young best safeties in the league and then go draft another guy that's going to be in the top 5 of the young best safeties in the league. That's just that's not normal.
I'm with you there, except that Javon's got to show us this year because I think we've used the term like rising star, emerging star with him. I want to see it this year.
I felt bad for him last year. He was playing that what's that? The chaperone role almost.
A little bit.
I think this year he has 8+ interceptions. Okay.
No, but that's why I said I want to see that big step up this year.
Bank it, because you're not going to be challenging the outsides nearly as much. If X comes back healthy, then I expect to see X again. And plus, with Jalen here, that will motivate X to be the best he can be. So you're not going to attack the edges. You're going to attack the middle of the field. And so then now Javon Holland has less of an area to cover. Oh, my God. I just think he's going to have a Pro Bowl season. I think he's going to have an all-pro season. I'm sorry.
Damn.
Forget Pro Bowl.
No,
all-pro season this year, Javon Holland.
I have very high expectations for him as well.
God.
I want to see it. Okay, let me rephrase it. When I said I want to see it this year, it's like I'll be very, very disappointed if that guy's not a complete stud in 2023.
I agree.
Better? That's better phrased.
Yes, no, it's perfectly phrased.
Okay.
Follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Catch his work there at Sports Illustrated, alldolphins.com. Lock it in. What are you working on there so folks can check you out?
Tua story coming up. We have something on the offensive line and something on the AFC East and the new challenge, and Mike McDaniel's thoughts about playing in what could be one of the best divisions in the NFL in 2023. Actually, it was at one point the best division in the NFL in 2022 until the Jets and the Patriots went like this.
Yep, exactly. And it will be this year, no doubt about that. All right, follow him on Twitter at Poupart NFL. Thank you, Alain. As always, we'll catch up later in the week, my friend. Appreciate you.
Be good.
Thank you, sir. There you go. EJD Construction. Call Eric right now. Dade and Broward counties only. 305-433-4843. A lot of you have been calling, man. Whether you need to upgrade your roof now, to renew your policy for your hurricane insurance. And listen, fully insured liability and workers' comp. So they are locked in. Everybody that steps on your property is fully insured. Whatever it is you need to do, custom home construction, major home remodeling, shell construction in-house. That's how they keep the costs down, folks. They've been at this for over 20 years. They've got a AAA rating from the Better Business Bureau. So if you live in Dade or Broward County, whatever it is you need to do, home, condo, business, whatever, you need to build, extend a new roof. You need to add an addition to your property. Maybe you want to build an efficiency on your property. Actually, we had a listener last year build an efficiency on their property in order to rent it out because, a lot of Airbnb and that kind of stuff. So, people are doing things like that. Call EJD Construction. That's a great way to make money long-term. Have somebody else pay for your mortgage. 305-433-4843. And I also encourage you to go to their Instagram page at EJD Construction so you can see a lot of the work that they do. And they do something really cool. They've got an app for you. So when you're a customer, every day you can go on your app and there are pictures taken of the progress that's being made every single day. It's freaking cool, man. EJDconstruction.com. Call Eric. Dade and Broward counties only. 305-433-4843.